Hello everyone, I'm Tara Cuthbertson, an assistant teaching professor in the Cornerstone program at Purdue University. In celebration of Aquila Theater's adaptation of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, I will be giving an overview of Jane Austen's life and literary legacy. Jane Austen was born in 1775, the youngest of 8 siblings, to an English pastor and his wife, George and Cassandra Austen. Austen's early childhood was idyllic, and she was particularly close to her elder sister, Cassandra. By the time Austen was 8 years old, her parents sent her and her sister away to be tutored in English literature, foreign languages, history, and needlework. While away at school, Austen absorbed the conventions for popular fiction of the time through Ladies' Magazine, which often featured stories of lovers who belonged to different social classes or economic backgrounds. Austen's time at school also gave her the opportunity to test out her early fiction attempts on classmates, including the trope of lovers who belong to different socioeconomic classes, a theme that reappears in her first 3 novels, including Pride and Prejudice. From 1787 to 1793, Austen practiced her writing through various character sketches, burlesque imitations of well-known novels, and novellas that played with epistolary structures and light-hearted pastoral adventures. Back at Steventon, Austen's family was a constant source of inspiration and encouragement. Her cousin Eliza, well-versed in the playwright Hannah Cawley, introduced Austen to confident and independent female characters, as well as providing Austen with an example of such a woman, since Eliza was financially independent and therefore had no need to marry for economic stability. Likewise, Austen's father and brothers kept her mind engaged with a variety of fiction and nonfiction, as well as feedback for her writing. Their home hosted a number of plays between 1782 and 1789. During this time, her family took in boarders to help offset the family's financial costs. Between her supportive family and their boarders, Austen was able to transform the shyness of her early adolescent years to become the kind of confident woman that she so admired. In 1793, Austen wrote an early version of the novel Sense and Sensibility called Elinor and Marianne, as well as a novella, Lady Susan, and in 1796 she wrote a novel called First Impressions, which would eventually become Pride and Prejudice. From 1797 on, the Austen family experienced a series of financial upheavals and personal losses. Cassandra became engaged only to lose her fiancé tragically to illness. Austen herself had various flirtations, but none became serious. Her father tried to get First Impressions published, but the novel was rejected. About this time, Austen's writing shifted from light-hearted comedies to those with more pathos and depth of emotion. Her brothers taught her that appearances can be deceiving, and about the various militias in a time when the threat of war was real between the Napoleonic Wars and the French Revolution. The duality between practical realities and romantic idealism in Austen's real life factors heavily into Pride and Prejudice. While staying with her brother Charles in 1802, Austen accepted a marriage proposal from a man she barely knew named Harris Bigwither, only to reject him the next day. The threat of financial ruin, destitution, and homelessness constantly hung over the heads of women during Austen's time. Not accepting Harris's offer had drastic consequences when her father died in 1805, leaving her mother, sister, and herself at the financial mercy of her brothers. Yet Austen's brothers did not disappoint. In 1809, they moved her into a house in Chawton, where she finally found the stability to focus on her writing. In 1811, she published Sense and Sensibility. In 1813, she published Pride and Prejudice. At Chawton House, Austen wrote Mansfield Park, Emma, Persuasion, and in 1817, the year she died, she began work on the novel Sanditon. The Romanicist scholar Marilyn Butler said that there is something of Austen in all of her heroines. For example, in Elizabeth Bennet, Pride and Prejudice's heroine, we see Austen's own wit and mastery of language, her love of dancing and gaiety, and her intolerance for stupidity. In Austen's beloved older sister Jane, Austen immortalizes her sister Cassandra. Both women are known for being polished, beautiful, and sensible. Both women deal with the loss of their lover with grace and dignity. Family, relationships, sisterhood, and feminism are some of the major themes that play a role in Austen's novels, which I will be discussing in part 2 of this video series on Pride and Prejudice.